Hello everyone and welcome back to another Burnin Rubber 5 video. Today I'm going to be giving 5 examples of weird logic in Burnin Rubber 5. Now, we all know that every video game has parts that are unrealistic or just plain weird, so I'm not really hating on this game. I just thought it would be fun to point out these things. And so, please don't think I hate this game, because I don't. This game has a part in my childhood, and I just like making a few videos off of this. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, when I first got the Redeemer missile, I thought it would be pretty cool to fire it forward, make it do a loop, and then hit opponents behind me. But apparently it's not possible for a missile to flip over, at least that's what it looked like at first. But if I switch over to free camera mid-flight, I realize that there's just a camera that cannot do a full flip. The missile itself is clearly traveling downwards. Trying to do a backwards loop doesn't work because the missile's camera stops turning once it is flying directly upwards. So here you can see the missile is clearly heading downwards, but when I was in the camera view, it showed that the missile was flying upwards. This makes it so that you can't control the missile if you're trying to make it do a full loop. That means if you're trying to use the Redeemer to hit anybody behind you, it's not going to work well because you won't be able to steer it properly and you'll probably just end up hitting nothing. Now, some of you might think that maybe it would be different for the Scud Launcher's Redeemer because the Scud Launcher's Redeemer is fired directly upwards. However, that's not the case. If I take my Scud Launcher here and use it, you'll see in a moment that even the Scud Launcher cannot do a full loop. The Scud will have the same problem as any other Redeemer missile, and the camera will stop turning once the missile is flying directly upwards. Once again, you can see that the missile is clearly heading downwards and that the camera should be showing the ground. However, when it was in a flight view, it was showing that the missile was heading towards the sky. Now, I actually ran into a problem here. I switched into free camera mode so that I could show you the missile flying downwards. However, this kind of caused a bug in the game where I tried to go back to regular camera view and the game just completely froze for me. You can see that it just keeps showing the Scud Launcher and has no HUD, even though the game was probably still running in the background because you could hear different noises going on as if I was still driving the car, but the screen had frozen, so I had to use the Task Manager and end Burnin Rubber 5. Now, this isn't really a big issue. It's just kind of odd that the missile's camera doesn't rotate any more than these. And if you're wondering what would happen if you try and make the missile do a downwards loop, then the camera will just glitch out once the missile is flying directly downwards. And it appears to make the missile go sideways or something, but once again, you can't control what is going on, so you can't do any loops with the Redeemer missile. Now, this one is just a purely cosmetic logic issue. It's that the snake has not 2, not 4, not 6, but 8 exhausts. Why does it have 8 exhausts? I have taken the snake into a race to see if all 8 exhausts will shoot out nitrous flames when you pick up a nitrous pickup. However, the 2 side exhausts did not shoot out nitrous flames. So my guess is this is part of the snake's body kit from another export game, and they didn't remove it or anything. So, once again, this doesn't really affect gameplay or anything. I just find it weird that the snake has 8 exhausts. It's kinda overkill. But then again, I guess Hot Wheels have shown us that overkill can look pretty good if it's done right. Like the Crazy 8s. Hey, you notice how the snake was able to drive up the wall like it was nothing? Well, that got me thinking, what if I took the GT Blaze into Super Off-Road? Well, here you see, turns out that any car in this game that has a low center of gravity can drive straight up cliffs, as long as the cliffs are not higher than 90 degrees, otherwise the car will just fall downwards. Any car that can get all 4 wheels onto a surface can just drive straight up it, as long as it is not a large vehicle like the Scud Launcher or the tank. In fact, the GT Blaze, which is clearly not an off-road car, can drive up cliffs, as if it had spiked tires or something. Now, this little logic issue is kind of weird, but it can also be pretty fun. If you take the GT Blaze, the DX Turbo, Vice V80, or any other sport car into a super off-road or some other off-road track, you could probably find a bunch of cliffs that you can drive up and probably get yourself into some places that you probably won't be able to reach with other cars like the tank. In fact, here I take the GT Blaze from Burnin Rubber 3 up a cliff on super off-road, and it drives right out of the map and falls into the abyss. Like I said earlier, this works with almost any car that has a low center of gravity, so any sport car can just drive straight up a cliff and out of the map if you want to. Here's another cosmetic item that doesn't make any sense, the Evader's spoiler wing combo. The Evader seems to already have a spoiler when stock, so why does it have a wing? And I would understand if the wing was in a different position, but just the wing here it's just in an odd place. The point of a wing is to use an aerofoil and generate downforce at high speeds to make the car corner easier and be more stable when you're driving at speeds at the cost of drag. So a wing would slow you down, but it would allow you to corner quicker. But let's be honest, the Evader isn't fast enough to make use of that anyway. And even if it was, it should not be placed here. It should probably be placed at the back of the roof or something, because I don't see any wing serving any kind of purpose when it's placed behind the car like this. Then again, if you're taking your Evader out to the countryside or something, you could probably use that stupid wing as a picnic table or something. Last but not least is probably the reason why Burnin Rubber 5 is so much fun, the fact that every weapon, except for the ones that need to charge, can reach extremely high rates of fire by quickly tapping the fire buttons. Here we have the homing missiles on the Vulcan reaching extremely high rates of fire by tapping the X key. And if that's not a good enough example for you, here's the Snake with loud cargo rockets. Here we have the cargo rockets at regular rate of fire, and now watch what happens when we tap the X key super fast. There's not a lot of vehicular combat games that have this. In fact, Burnin Rubber 5 and its predecessors are probably the only games I know that have weapons that can fire like that if you tap fire them. I don't know any other game that allows you to fire a couple hundred fuel air rockets in a split second. Now this allows for countless possibilities in-game. You can deploy an army of laser turrets in a matter of milliseconds to annihilate one boss, or you can annihilate that same boss with a huge barrage of fuel air bombs, sending him into low Earth orbit. Or you can use a tank, a single tank, and fire a huge barrage of shells, exploding everything in existence. This just makes the game a lot more fun to play. Have it. There's 5 examples of weird Burnin Rubber 5 logic that I found in this game. What about you guys? What kind of odd things have you guys found out about the game? The horse being able to flip over a car? Or maybe that same horse shooting fire out of its nose when it picks up a nitrous power-up? Or maybe the ability to launch yourself out of the map by detonating a Redeemer missile right above your head? Let me and everyone else know in the comments section below. See ya. He survived? He survived with 1 health. Let me try and ram him to death. Never mind. That's the closest I'll ever get to getting that achievement.